Hello everyone, and we got somewhat of a sad update, but maybe one that will make people angry, at least the Ethereum maxis. It seems that I was wrong about the Ethereum ETF likely to be getting passed because we have some news from an insider saying that the SEC has just not put in the work to get an Ethereum ETF, and the meeting did not go all that well. Remember in the last video I said, well, they're at least having a meeting with Grayscale and Coinbase, which is something they only did before they approve the Bitcoin ETF. However, this time around, people are saying they're not doing the work, the meeting's not providing anything, and they just haven't laid the ground pieces for accepting the Ethereum ETF the way they've done with the Bitcoin ETF, which honestly should not be all that exciting. Remember, it took them 6 years to accept the Bitcoin ETF. Now, I don't think they'll accept the Bitcoin ETF. I don't think they'll take 6 years for the Ethereum ETF, but it looks like Gary Gensler is going to drag this out even more, and there is a bigger chance that we get a rejection now. I hope I'm very wrong about this and we actually get the Ethereum ETF. But what they're saying is they haven't, the SEC has not gone through the bureaucracy or the paperwork as if they are going to accept an Ethereum ETF. Remember, before the Bitcoin ETF, in the months leading up to it, they had a lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of hoops to jump through. They were meeting again and again and again with the ETF companies, all of the ETF companies, and they were getting everything in place. They are not getting everything in place. But hopefully what that means is a lot of the stuff is already in place because they already accepted one ETF. But they also explain something that might be why they might reject it this time, and that's because Gary Gensler has already kind of relented and pleased the crypto industry a bit by accepting the Bitcoin ETF. So he has more of a leash now with the Ethereum ETF, so he can reject it a few times before he accepts it. He's only willing to give as much as he has to in crypto, and he still wants to make things as hard as possible. He has not learned his lesson yet, that crypto will pwn him if he does not play ball and play nice with us. So the thing is, we need to teach him that lesson, which means Grayscale should actually sue him again. And I do think Grayscale will sue him again because it's a very clear path to victory. There is an Ethereum futures ETF, and because there is an Ethereum futures ETF, there's no reason for Gary Gensler to deny a spot ETF. However, that will delay things by about a year or so we may not get an Ethereum ETF until 2025, and that could be the big Ethereum run, which could actually prompt everything else to run. But of course, that means there's no other crypto ETFs coming through at least until 2025. And after the Ethereum ETF, I don't think anything's going to come through until 2026. So if your favorite coin is hankering for an ETF, probably not happening for another 2 years or so, because Gary Gensler, like I said, he's not willing to completely give in yet, and he is trying to drag this out as long as humanly possible and deny whatever he can deny. Also, there's another reason for this, and it's because his allies, or kind of allies, like Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, and co., were very unhappy with him relenting and giving the Bitcoin ETF, even though he only did that because the courts essentially made him give the Bitcoin ETF. They're very unhappy, so he actually feels a lot of pressure the other way to not give an Ethereum ETF and piss them off even more. So there's a lot of tug and pull here. I don't really like the way it's going, but from the insider news, it does seem like politically it won't be convenient for Gary Gensler to give a crypto ETF right now. And since he's already been given a little bit more of a leash because he's finally given the Bitcoin ETF, he doesn't really want to displease his loyal masters in Elizabeth Warren, Brad Sherman, and co., and he does not want to invoke their wrath. So they don't want him to approve an Ethereum ETF, so he might try to push it off for another several months. Remember, if this one gets rejected, it'll probably be until at least the end of the year before we get an Ethereum ETF. Or Grayscale can just sue again, and the SEC, instead of losing the case, could just approve the Ethereum ETF, because it's almost 100% certain, in my opinion, that they're going to lose the case if they actually fight it. So yeah, not very reliable, but hopefully I am wrong about this and the insider is wrong. But based on their actions right now, what I'm reading, the paperwork is not there, which signals that they may not give us the ETF that we want. That's too bad, but like all that means is Ethereum retraces a little bit after May, and that's about it. I don't think it should affect the rest of the market all that much. We still got the Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin's the one that moves the market anyways. In other news, the folks at Blackrock have become the #1 holders of Bitcoin with the greatest wallet amount. That is not including like the Satoshi wallet, obviously. We don't really know who owns the Satoshi wallet or if that person's still alive or if it's a group of people. But of the wallets that we can dox, we know that BlackRock has the most now because they have past MicroStrategy. And it's only taken them 2 months to do it. But we have to remember the BlackRock Bitcoin is held by their customers and not BlackRock itself. They belong to the customers. But BlackRock, the company, actually holds it in custody with Coinbase, and that is the biggest wallet now, surpassing MicroStrategy in less than 2 months. Michael Saylor is probably not happy about that. And I know some of you that don't like BlackRock, think they're the cabal, Fidelity and the rest. You don't like this either. But I think for the bull run, this bull run, at least if you're in it, it's good for our wallet. You know why? Because BlackRock isn't going to let it go down all that much because they don't want their customers to be pissed off at them. They want to mediate the price of Bitcoin. So, they might not mind it so much when it goes up because their customers are making money, but when we have that inevitable bear market, they might try to mediate the price some because their customers probably don't want their portfolio going down 50% or more. So it actually gives us a limitation for the next bear market on how low we can go, I believe. Now, that doesn't include altcoins. However, the next bull run we have after this one may not be quite as big because we didn't dump through the bottom, but that's a consideration for later. And they might want to pump it up this bull run as well. And they might not have a choice because their customers are still buying Bitcoin. And you know what? They're even buying Bitcoin with their funds. So if they have their own money invested, they definitely want it to go up. And having BlackRock, Fidelity, and other big pension funds maybe pension and retirement funds coming into Bitcoin means they really want the value to go up on a consistent basis. So maybe we'll see like just an overall complete big upward trend for Bitcoin. And I think that will actually help pump the numbers and help pump our altcoins because it's pumping Bitcoin as well. Remember, altcoins generally dump when Bitcoin dumps. So if Bitcoin dumping is controlled, then altcoin dumping is probably going to be controlled as well. Now, it might make it harder to find smaller projects, and I think meme coins may not follow the rule. So you might have to basically like get new memes or find new memes. But like for solid projects, this is probably good news. It might calm things down, stabilize things a bit, and give it some like consistent growth over time for those coins that actually have uses. So they might be like the stabilizing factor that a lot of people are actually looking for in like after this bull run. But I do think it'll be helpful for this bull run because of the narrative and also because they wouldn't mind it if their clients made a lot of money. Binance has exited Nigeria. That's right. Nigeria said, ooh, Binance may be a little too shady for us because they launder money and stuff. But I don't know if Nigeria, with their famous Nigerian princes that always send me emails, should be in position to tell anyone who's shady or not. And a lot of the Nigerian market, Nigeria I think is the second biggest crypto market in Africa, and many of their players are actually kind of afraid that the crypto market might cave in their country because Binance was such a big part of it. The Nigerian officials say that their own crypto exchanges will take the place of Binance, but I'm not really sure if that's true or not because their own crypto exchanges, especially if they're run by those Nigerian princes, could be even way more shadier than Binance because despite all these government attempts to kill Binance, Binance has actually never stolen my money. Binance has never stolen anyone's money. They're able to redeem things out. They're one of the better ones when it comes to tech support. So, people in Nigeria are going to miss Binance, but Binance is basically withdrawing from Nigeria because they don't want to deal with a legal hassle. And Nigeria is basically following the United States example and probably taking a cue from the US to kick Binance out, because the US wants to basically do away with Binance so their own companies like Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini can probably expand both domestically and overseas. Arbitrum has abandoned the Tornado Cash developers. This is not very surprising because, the US government and many other governments have been after the Tornado Cash developers for some time at this point. And it's no surprise that Arbitrum was like, yeah, you know what, we don't really want to get in trouble with the authorities. So we're just going to not fund them anymore. Obviously, like there was a proposal in the DAO to fund Tornado Cash developers and their legal bills, and that has been stricken out. So that is one less funding way for Tornado Cash legal bill funders. Not sure if they have a GoFundMe or not. Probably does not affect the crypto market, but if you were in with the ideals of crypto, wanted to fund an anonymous project or help keep crypto anonymous with a Tornado Cash, that might be one more drying up like roadway or riverway for you to get that, because without people to fund their legal bills, they can't fight the legal bills, which would de-incentivize other people from working on these anonymous projects in the future. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.